morning and happy Wednesday. So warm out. Oh my word. That's why I wore white. Fall.
Stop sticking your tongue out at our guests.
Not at our guests, at fall.
Oh, you like fall.
I love fall. But I'm just not ready because everything else is in the laundry.
What a beautiful, it was a beautiful evening. Yesterday turned into a beautiful afternoon.
Didn't it? It took a minute though for that fog to go. It was mid-afternoon.
I know. But then 4:30 was gorgeous.
Beautiful. Had dinner outside last night. It was just wonderful. Yes. Barbecued pork chops.
Oh, wow.
On the cob
you were really giving us summer another whirl, weren't you?
Absolutely.
Happy National Cheeseburger Day.
Awesome.
Nowadays, you can have one of those fake cheeseburgers. Do they still call them cheeseburgers? Remember the whole thing about you can't call them a burger if it's not beef.
All right. But they call them a near meat or close to meat or kind of sort of meat.
Near meat.
No, what's the one the A&W people call it? Almost meat? Something. Beyond meat.
See,
is that it? Right? So they've kept the word meat in the title of their new burger.
Almost
near meat?
Oh my God, that doesn't sound delicious at all.
No, doesn't it? Apparently they are awesome.
Can they eat cheese? Do vegans eat cheese? Yes. No. Why not?
No eggs, no cheese,
cheese.
No fish.
But cheese, wait a minit, cheese. Because cheese comes from an animal.
Right.
Nothing that comes from an animal.
No.
Animal.
An animal. What kind of animal is that?
Okay, so speaking of food, speaking of food. You know the really popular singer Lizzo?
Yes, she's hugely
popular.
Yes. She really is. Rihanna loves her.
So, she's got great music. She's very uplifting.
Motivation.
Anyway, she there's a service in the States. I don't think, maybe we have it in Canada too. I'd never heard of it. It's called Postmates. They're actually a delivery service. They deliver food. Postmates. I didn't know about it.
If they were in Canada, I would have heard about it if it has anything to do with
But I think when I Googled Postmates, it came up like Postmates Canada, Postmates US. So it may exist in Canada. We call it area delivery here in Sault Ste. Marie. Sure. But anyway, so Postmates, she hired Postmates to deliver her food, and I guess the food never made it to her. Now, the Postmates people are saying the driver waited the 5 minutes and then left. But Lizzo got upset. And so she posted on her Twitter account. Yes,
she didn't get any food?
Look, there's Postmates. Oh, I don't.
Easy there. Easy there, nice looking man on the bike.
Whoa.
Easy, Tim.
What's he bringing me? Anyway, she posted on Twitter that her driver, and put the name Tiffany, and put the driver's picture on social media saying, she stole my food.
She stole her food?
She accused the Postmates driver of stealing her food on social media and posted her name and her picture. So the clapback was from many of her fans saying, you know what you just did to that girl?
Yeah, that's
You have a
dangerous.
million followers, and not everybody's going to be sane. And what are they going to do? They're going to bombard this girl?
Go and get the chicken nuggets from her. They're going to force them from her cold
passed out hands.
Right?
So,
what? She didn't get any of her food?
I don't think so. So now, the end of the story is that Lizzo has now said, because this is the new way of talking, be more careful, more responsible with my social. Be more responsible with my social media posts. I realize I put that girl's safety in jeopardy or whatever, and it turns out they didn't steal her food. She just wasn't at the door when she was supposed to be.
Well, and you know what? Social media, though, it's a matter of hit the button and your whole world could change. Like, just take a minute. Just take a second.
Breathe. And that's another thing that somebody posted to her saying, what, you couldn't just call customer service? You had to, go national and shame these people because you're Lizzo?
Stick in another 4 pizzas or something.
Right.
I don't know. Weird. Bachelor Nation split. Just announced that Peter Weber is going to be the new Bachelor.
Who was he?
He was on The Bachelorette.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
So
always
is that how they do it? They find somebody who was a candidate on Bachelorette who didn't get chosen, and then they make him the Bachelor?
Yes.
Always? They don't just go out
I think so.
Okay.
I initially, and obviously they had to audition for that part.
Right.
Because there was no Bachelorette.
That's him? Oh, he's the pilot. Oh, yes. I heard about him.
Yes. Pilot Pete, they call him.
Pilot Pete.
Yeah. So he's the next Bachelor. And like I said, some people are like, all right. Other people are like, what?
Well,
I'm confused.
You could become, so are they, what do you call the girls who are after him? Bachelorettes? Or what are they called?
The girls.
Okay, so the girls get to try to get a date with Pilot Pete?
Yes.
Well, they're going to join the Mile High Club. Listen.
Maybe that's when they get a rose. and
watch out, those roses have
thorns.
Pricks. Rick Mercer at one time did a rant. Rick Mercer at one time did a rant, and in his rant he said, or he wrote, if you are between the ages of 18 and 25 and you want to scare the hell out of the people who run this country, this time around do the unexpected. Take 20 minutes out of your day and do what young people around the world are dying to do. Vote. Well, guess what the Burnaby North Seymour Conservative Riding Association did? They took his quote, they put it on Facebook with his picture, and they added the word conservative after, so it said, vote.
There it is.
Vote conservative. He did not endorse that party. They took his quote.
He's ticked.
Yeah, so he went, and he didn't know about it. Somebody, I saw the tweet on Twitter, hashtagging him saying, hey, Rick Mercer, are you really endorsing the Conservative Party? His response was, no, gotta be fake. He contacted the party, and he hashtagged Andrew Scheer and said, what is this? What do you?
Good for him.
Yeah, not happy.
Because you know what? As a person who does what he does, he needs to stay objective because he takes shots at all the parties, right? So you can't.
It was a nonpartisan quote, and they made it about the Conservative Party.
Yeah, that's, you know what? And nobody's going to notice that. Hello.
Yeah.
Like really. Hey, you know what? Aaron Carter again.
What's going on? So he's been diagnosed bipolar, schizophrenic, manic depressive.
He's on 6 different antidepressants. He had to cancel his
canceling tour dates.
Yeah,
his tour dates with his iPad.
Yes.
Come on, I mean, I saw him He actually had to run his iPad on the stage and sing along to a track. He didn't have a band. This is where his career was, and he's canceling tour dates. Go on.
His brother Nick, who is the real,
who can actually sing.
Yeah, he and his sister have put a restraining order out against him because Nick said, Aaron actually said he wanted to kill my pregnant wife and unborn child. I think I would do the same.
He has a firearm. They're trying to get it away from him, apparently.
Oh my word!
But see, hang on.
Good, you can buy them at Walmart.
Do they not have
not anymore?
Do they not have the legislation yet where if you have a mental health issue, they can prevent you from getting it? Oh, but he already had the gun. So what do they have to do? Take it away? How do they do that? This is the whole issue.
All right.
They need to take his gun away.
Now that he's
been diagnosed.
What happens when you buy a gun and you're allegedly sound of mind and then become unsound of mind? Schizophrenia isn't something that happens overnight, is it?
No. And schizophrenia, by the way, can be triggered by other things. Like, for instance, marijuana use. Oh, I'm not supposed to say marijuana. That. Cannabis use.
I've heard that.
Yeah.
Michael, who did you say said hello this morning? Christine Prescott says, you two are awesome. Christine, thank you. Honey, you're a doll.
You shouldn't be drinking this early in the morning.
But we're so glad you are. Stay drunk, honey.
Keep drinking. She gets prettier. Listen,
especially near the end of the day.
It's a great show today.
It is.
We're starting off with Algoma Repertory Theatre. It's one of the brand new theatre companies in town. And Sandra Forcell is here to talk about auditions coming up for their Christmas production. Very cool.
Nice. And a huge thank you to Casey's Security this morning for sponsoring the show.
And then after that, Luann has the news. There's so much going on Mornings with Luann and Tim. Why would you want to be anywhere else? You don't. Stay where you are. See you in a minute.
Please.
Stopping and up and I'm up in your face, shaking it off, no matter the cost. I'm feeling the wind, I'm taking it all. I'm paving the way with the sweat and the blood. I'm at the top, I'm rising above. I want the gold, give me the rush. Queen Midas, I got the touch. I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing. 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 I'm pushing, I'm pushing, I'm pushing.
Housed in a 15,000 square foot custom manufacturing facility built to produce world-class cabinetry at surprisingly affordable prices, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry brings your project from initial concept to final design. Proudly providing Northern Michigan and the Algoma region with quality hand-built cabinetry for the past 20 years. Located at 844 East 3 Mile Road, Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan, Great Lakes Fine Cabinetry, making your cabinetry dreams come true.
To sit beside my friend Sandra Forcell and not be tied to a chair in my underwear.
Just this time and this once.
Now people might be wondering what that means. Algoma Repertory Theatre, how long ago did this group start?
Oh, this is in February of 2019.
I remember sitting down having a meeting. We sat down and had a meeting like in the summer, fall, and then it took a while to get it all going,
That's right, yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
First show was you and your husband Mark Bodette.
Yes, we did Love Letters.
Then we did Death on the Maiden.
Yes.
And she tied me to a chair, beat me with a gun, and stripped me down.
And everyone loved it.
Yeah, because I actually shoved a gag in my mouth, and everybody came to see how to shut Tim Murphy up for 2 hours.
This is how we do it.
That was an experience for me.
That was a great show.
So now, what's coming up?
Oh, we have a busy fall at Art.
Art, Algoma Repertory Theatre.
That's
right. Clever, huh?
Mm-hmm. So we are doing for our Halloween show is going to be Evil Dead the Musical. They're busy in rehearsals right now. It is so much fun and so ridiculous.
Evil Dead the Musical. Mm-hmm. Now, this was like this is a cult show, right? I mean,
it is. It started.
Do you know when it was written?
2003. It started at the Transat Club in Toronto.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes.
Hey, look, there's the poster. Thanks, Michael. He put it up over there. So you're open on October. Oh, right, perfect timing.
Yes,
right
absolutely.
over the Halloween weekend.
October 30th to November 2nd. Tickets are selling like crazy, especially for the Friday and Saturday night.
I would imagine.
So if you want tickets, get them. We have dinner and show only, Splash Zone, and Splash Zone with a dinner upgrade.
Wait a second. Splash Zone?
Oh, yeah.
You mean people in the audience are going to get hit with stuff?
Well, hit with blood. Yes, this is a fun show. There are some blood antics in it. It is a little crazy.
Blood antics. This is not, and we're talking stage blood, people. Don't be nervous.
Stage blood. And it is all in good fun. Nothing is
Grand
scary
Gardens
about it.
downtown. Grand Gardens, Dennis Street is the location.
Absolutely.
Dinner Theatre is back in Sault Ste. Marie, thanks to Art.
Absolutely. Oh, and our Halloween show on the Thursday. If you come dressed as a zombie, we will donate $5 to the soup kitchen. So
that's such a cool thing.
Yes.
Wait a second. Where are the tickets available?
Tickets are available on our website at www.art in Sault Ste. Marie. We also have them at eventbrite.ca. You can go up in person at Grand Gardens at the North Street location.
Oh, Grand Gardens North, 4th line.
And talk to Mark at 705-943-9519.
Or get a hold of me at Superior Media because I'm on the board, so I can also direct you to where to get tickets. So
Absolutely.
there. And I'm Timothy at superiormedia.ca. There you go.
There you go.
I can direct people.
Beautiful.
What was I going to say? Oh, so how many in the cast of Evil Dead?
Of 9.
So nice size.
Yes.
But and who's directing?
Mark Bodette.
He's a very good director. I can say that firsthand.
Yes.
Is there a musical director?
We have Stephen Roussio-Gagnon is the musical director.
No kidding.
He's also in the show, and then we have Laura Nelson who is assistant directing as well.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Great! You're in great hands.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so that's Halloween weekend. You're in the audience. You're going to go and see. You're going to love it. Of course, the meal is fabulous at the Grand Gardens.
Absolutely.
And what were the tickets again? There's regular and there's.
We have dinner and show for $60. We have show only for $35. We have splash zone for $40, and then the upgrade for $25 to dinner.
And then, as you said, on the Thursday night, $5 donation to Soup Kitchen.
The Soup Kitchen, if you dress up like a zombie.
If you dress up like a zombie.
That's
okay,
right.
but you have to be in costume. Are we encouraging people to dress up any night, every night? What the heck? Absolutely.
Why not?
Interactive.
That's right.
Okay, so now, you're also here to talk about the Christmas show.
That's right. It's a Wonderful Life, the radio play.
Okay, It's a Wonderful Life. Zuzu's Petals. Zuzu's Petals.
Oh, I know.
If you haven't seen, look, there's Jimmy Stewart. Oh my gosh. I still cry when I watch that film.
I read it again last night, and of course at the end I'm just bawling. I just love it. It's amazing.
So but here's the really cool thing. It's the radio play version of It's a Wonderful Life.
That's right. So we take you back to a 1940s studio where a group of actors actually put on the production of It's a Wonderful Life for people to listen to the radio. So we have live Foley, we have live sound effects, we have characters playing multiple characters. We have
So you're gonna have people running around the stage doing the sound effects like.
That's
Come
right.
here,
Absolutely.
And you know what the other cool thing is, in case you're interested, if you're a business out there,
yes,
they're actually going to, you know how radio shows, they would stop for commercial breaks,
That's
right?
right.
So they're giving you the opportunity to become a sponsor for the show and have your company advertised on stage.
Live. Every night
over the run of the show. And this one's going on at the theater center, right?
Yes.
At the community theater center.
That's right.
Because we're counting on that's going to be that's not dinner. That's just
This is just show. This is just show at the community center. And
Christmas. It's going to be so exciting.
Show dates are going to be December 18th to the 21st, so it's going to be right in that prime time, right before Christmas. Hopefully families are going to be all back, ready to go and celebrate Christmas with this beautiful show.
18th to the 21st of December?
That's right.
Such Christmas spirit.
But before that, we have to have auditions.
Who's directing this one?
I am.
Sandra's going to be the director.
I am.
Okay, so how many are you looking for?
Well, that depends. It really depends on who comes out, and
there's flexibility for
There is absolute flexibility. We can go with as little as 7 and up to 26 to 30.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
So this is a great opportunity for somebody who wants to get involved, right?
Absolutely.
First time, because there's obviously smaller parts, larger parts, and if people are scared about memorizing, does it help that are there going to be scripts?
There are going to be scripts. Yes, there are going to be scripts.
Because some people get scared about, I don't want to have to learn lines. This is a great way to ease yourself into theater.
Absolutely, and we need everybody. We need young Harry. We need young Mary and Violet. We need Zuzu.
Children.
We need some children.
And teenagers and adults.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, and seniors, because the grumpy old banker guy.
Right, absolutely. We need a great Mr. Potter.
Oh my. Okay.
Yes.
So wait a second. Show dates for that one you said are December the 18th to the 21st. So you've got to be available then.
Yes.
And also, when are rehearsals going to start, Sandra?
Rehearsals are probably going to start beginning of November. I already have my head fully, so we just need the crew for that, so we can start on that project and get that in place, which is great during October. So auditions are going to be on September 21st on Saturday.
September the 21st.
Yes, at Elite Dance Force.
Oh! I know where that is.
Yes.
That's in the basement of that, what's the building called?
The Queen Center.
The Queen Center, corner of March and Queen.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, right there. The big, but the dance studio entrance at the back.
That's right.
So go around to the back. You can get there off of Bay Street. You hang a left onto Lower March.
Yep.
And there's parking in the back.
Yep.
Doors are right there. Take you to the basement.
That's right.
And that's Elite Dance Force.
Yep.
At what time?
At 1 o'clock until 4 p.m.
3 hours. Do they have to come right at 1, or can they show up later? Because sometimes times when I do musicals, we ask everybody to be there all at the same time because they all learn something together. Are your auditions going to be just stop in and how's it going to work?
I would love it if most people could come right at 1 o'clock,
Right at 1,
so we
okay.
could get groups together and have different voices start, and also so that people can start to read through the sides, because there will be some script there for people to take a look at, get familiar with.
So ideally, you're going to arrive at 1 o'clock. If you can't get there at 1, get there as close to as you can, but all wrapping up at 4.
Absolutely.
That's a Saturday, the 21st of September?
Yes.
Oh, that's coming up
this Saturday.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. I think I might want to audition.
I think you should.
Okay, so what do they need to do to prepare?
Nothing. Just come on in, and we'll get you prepared. Once you're there, I just want to see you. I want everybody to come out who's interested in being a part of theater.
Also amazing for kids who are looking. I'm always getting phone calls from people saying, "Is there anything for my kid to do? I want my kid loves to do theater. This is the opportunity. Audition for Sandra Purcell for. Is there? It's a Wonderful Life. The radio
play. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then, how often will you rehearse? Like, what's the time commitment for people who audition, who want to know?
Once we get started in November, I would say that your general time commitment would be at least 4 evenings a week.
And you're looking at about 3 hours an evening kind of thing?
Right.
Usually
yes.
like 7 to 10 kind of ish?
6:30 to 9, 9:30.
Oh, because you got kids, you're going to go a little earlier.
Yeah.
And it gets dark so early now, doesn't it? Okay, we got to go. So check out the auditions for Chris. What's that?
It's a Wonderful Life, the radio play. Check us out at www.artinssm.
Oh, you have
Facebook
a website.
page, our website. All of the details are all there. If you have any questions,
Art in SSM?
ARTNSSM.com.
And get your tickets for the Evil Dead the Musical, which runs October, September, what?
Yes, that's October 30th to November 2nd.
I could be a better host if I wrote things down. Thank you, Sandra Purcell.
Well, it's been a pleasure.
Say hi to Mark for me.
I sure will.
And I'll see you at the auditions. Okay.
Right.
First I'll see you at the... No, I'll see you at the auditions, then I'll see you at the Evil Dead.
That's right.
Okay, fun. But there's nothing to do in Sault Ste. Marie. Oh, Luann's here. We have to go. Bye. We'll be right back after this.
With over 45 years of experience, All Ontario Well Drilling offers hydrofracking and all well drilling services. Call 705-575-8088 or 705-257-9495.
This past year we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
Trouble. I forgot to bring Luann a smile cookie to support. Tim Hortons is supporting with their smile cookies this week. The Twinkie Foundation and Arch. I gotta get those. And it's coffee break for the Alzheimer's Society. I'm dropping the ball everywhere. Thank you to the Northern Policy Institute for sponsoring our show this month with State of the North, the 3rd annual conference, September the 26th at the Delta. Come together and share your ideas with Northern Policy Institute and help us find a direction for the future of Sault Ste. Marie.
Finding a direction. Two of my favorite people, Tessa Virtue
and me,
Scott Moyer, and Tim, are doing a new tour.
He's getting married.
Rock the Rink tour. And I was going to say, surprise, Moyer's engaged. It was a big shock because a lot of people still think that there's a little kamasuva happening with those two, but there hasn't been for years. They did date when they were younger, but they're not dating now.
I didn't know it would just happen. I thought he was already engaged. It just happened?
Mm-hmm.
I'm psychic. I honestly thought that they already announced it. That's why I said that. I didn't know. I didn't know that just came out. I thought that was old news.
No. He has announced it, but it was still a surprise.
To who?
To the
public
and to his fiance.
How did I know? What? Oh, the tour.
No,
the
engagement. Like a couple of weeks ago, I'm talking about.
Oh.
Yes. I just mentioned it here because people always think of them as a couple.
I'm not following you. So are they coming here on a tour?
I don't know. Glad to bring that up.
Oh my gosh. I make it hard for you to work, eh?
You sure do. No smile cookies. No.
What's the name of the tour?
What's the name? I'm not done. No breakfast from Pauline's place when they were doing a fundraiser. Oh, well, I'll bring it for you. It never brings me anything. Nothing.
I bring you love every day. What do I get for it? Yelled at.
When I get a word in,
do we have any time to... No, we don't have time for this banter. I want to talk about Sam Smith and binary stuff and cis and non-binary, but there's not too quick. Let's talk about this real fast. How would you feel about going to see a concert that's a hologram of Whitney Houston? Because that's going to happen. The Whitney Houston hologram tour are now plotting their 2020 dates. It kicks off in the UK. It's an LA-based hologram company, and it's been approved by the family. Well, it says the family. The bottom line is it's the sister-in-law, Pat Houston, Whitney's sister-in-law, is her sole executor. Yes. And she's been working with this company in LA, to create the show An Evening with Whitney, and it's 26-date tour, and it's a hologram concert.
So my question is, she and the sister-in-law Pat were very close.
Yeah.
Even when she passed away, they were very, very close. More like sisters, allegedly.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of family members left. So who's the money for?
Well, her estate, the Whitney Houston estate, I would imagine.
Going to?
Was there another child anywhere? Did the daughter never had a child?
No, the daughter didn't have a child, but there wasn't a sort of semi-adopted brother that Whitney had.
Okay.
Remember, the daughter was going out with him.
Oh,
yeah, it was all a little wonky.
Well, anyway, if you want to go see it, and we were saying, I don't know, would you go? I said I'd probably go see a hologram tour of Judy Garland. I just think it's a little too fresh for me.
Yeah.
It'd be like weird to see her walking around again.
When Tim and I were talking about it earlier, I said to him, I wonder if there's a moment where you actually forget it's a hologram.
Yeah.
Like, it would have to be done really, really well,
I guess at one time, speaking of which, they were going to do one for Amy Winehouse, and they put it on hold because they said it wasn't tasteful enough. It's just... when you bring Amy Winehouse back to life, there's going to be a little bit of, I don't know, she was kind of an edgy...
Can you not see through that? Literally? Like a hologram. Seriously, can't you see through a hologram?
Well, not if it's a good one, I guess. I don't know. So, I don't know how I feel about that.
That's a different one.
Could creep me right out.
Yeah.
But then again, wait a minute. When you're watching a movie... It's not the same. It's 3D. It's right there on stage, and you're in the concert, and it's walking around. Look at me going, and it's walking around. Anyway,
I hope she sings as well.
It's actually her. It said Master Tracks.
Yes,
it's her Master Tracks. Because of course, now does that mean that we can never have a hologram show of Taylor Swift because she doesn't have her Master Tracks anymore? Anyway, listen, Luann has the news next.
We want to say good morning to Dino this morning too.
Hi, Dino.
In New Brunswick. How are you?
What?
I know. Hi from the Sioux.
Hi.
Yeah, we have the news coming up right after this, so stay with us.
Out.
Dino too.
A hologram. Let's do the hologram news.
Ford is a family-owned dealership that's been around with the Ford franchise since 1984.
What I love of my Ford, I love the technology. I love the way it rides, I love the way the seats hug me, and I love the control I have right at the steering wheel.
When they say that it's a true family atmosphere, it is 100%. They've been in business for close to 50 years.
Employee pricing is back. That means you pay what we pay for a Ford SUV, F-150, Ranger, or Mustang.
You pay what we pay.
Absolutely.
Who's home? Dad's home. And what's he got? Mouth-watering Little Caesars. Download Fido. Dinner? Consider it served. Little Caesars Ultimate Supreme Box Set. A 5-topping deep dish pizza with delicious Italian cheese bread. And I got it for $12. It's Little Caesars and a whole lot of tasty. Hot and ready.
Melly, did you know that the Bush Plain Heritage Center is celebrating 30 years this year?
Wow, great for them. Did you know that if you're at the Bush Plain Museum, that you're only 12 minutes and 7 seconds away from Maitland Ford Lincoln?
Really? Maitland Ford? It's closer than you think.
Approximately 50 people showed their support as local NDP candidate Sarah McCleary officially launched the opening of her campaign office last evening. It's located at 24E Queen Street East. McCleary said one of the biggest issues she's heard from her constituents is affordability. Other issues she hopes to combat are climate change, workers' rights, and job creation, as well as fighting to protect public and private pensions.
So things like introducing universal pharmacare are really important to me. People are paying far too much for their prescriptions, and so we want to make it so that they can get their prescriptions just with their health card rather than having to pay with their credit card. I really want to represent the working people of Sault Ste. Marie. I think that it's been too long since we've been really represented by, one of us, more or less, right? So I really want to be the voice for the working class people of Sault Ste. Marie and represent them in Ottawa. It's important to me to be a voice for the Sioux because I'm going through the same things as the people in Sault Ste. Marie. I'm working 3 jobs to get by. I'm struggling to get my family's prescriptions and to pay our bills. So it's really important to me that I can help other people that are going through the same thing.
We won't be bullied by other countries. We're going to stand up for our farmers, throw open the doors to new opportunities and new markets around the world.
Ontario Premier Doug Ford said the province is sending a trade delegation to South Korea and to Japan next month while speaking at the annual international plowing match in Verner yesterday. The match, a magnet for Ontario politicians, also saw NDP leader Andrea Horwath talking about broadband expansion in the north and Liberal leader John Fraser on government cuts.
Premier Ford heard something this afternoon that relates to the $2.3 billion in cuts to education, to healthcare, to things that families count on that were identified in last week's public accounts. So if you look at schools here, secondary schools in the north and in rural Ontario, it's going to limit choices. Andrea Horwath was talking about broadband. Broadband in the north, internet is essential, not just for business, for agriculture, but for health, for education, for being connected to the world. It's like a road. It's like electricity. It is like a utility, and it's going to require everybody working together, business, government, all 3 levels, to try and make that happen.
Things like that happen. We'll make sure we get the proper stickers made, but hey, I agree 100%.
Okay, are you getting, is it the same company that's going to
I got to talk to Minister Rickford, but again, that company messed up. And
Meanwhile, Ontario Premier Doug Ford says the government's province-wide campaign to criticize the federal carbon tax just isn't sticking. That's because the stickers decrying the tax, which gas stations are required by law to post on their pumps, were produced using the wrong adhesive and are falling off. Ford joked about the issue at the international plowing match in Verner yesterday, quipping that the stickers may have worked if they'd been produced by the label company owned by the Ford family. But the Premier acknowledged that the stickers were somehow botched and vowed to fix the problem. He says the specifications were all accurate for the stickers, which became mandatory in Ontario gas stations at the end of August. He offered few details, but said he would be discussing the matter with Energy Minister Greg Rickford. Canadian manufacturers in the highly integrated auto industry are starting to feel the effects of the General Motors strike in the U.S. as workers continue to picket there. GM Canada said yesterday that about half of the production at its Oshawa assembly plant has been impacted by the strike, which has disrupted supply chains for the major automaker. Industry analyst Dennis DeRosier said Canadian auto suppliers, which export about $18 billion in parts a year to the U.S., are also expected to be feeling the effects of close to 48,000 unionized workers in the U.S. walking off the job.
And studies show that there was a 40% reduction in the gun homicide rate after Connecticut passed that law. Okay, let's take a look at Missouri, which did the opposite. A few years ago, it repealed its purchase permit law that requires you to get a background check with every sale of a weapon in Missouri. And guess what happened? A year later, gun homicides went up by 23%, controlling for every other factor that could have explained it. In fact, during that period of time, gun homicide rates were going down in all the states around Missouri, and they went up.
U.S. Senate Democrats held a late-night session yesterday to call for a debate on gun control legislation. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says Congress remains in a holding pattern as lawmakers await proposals from the White House.
And according to Leader McConnell, he says, if the president took a position on a bill so that we knew we would actually be making a law and not just having serial votes, he'd be happy to put it on the floor. Now, let me just say, that's not actually how the Senate is supposed to operate. We're supposed to originate the legislation. We're supposed to be the world's greatest deliberative body. We're supposed to determine what kind of law to make. We're not supposed to play Mother May I with the President of the United States and wait for clearance before we even initiate a debate.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Earlier this week, we were talking about how Britney Spears' dad was up for child abuse charges. Apparently, that's not the case because there's not enough evidence. Allegedly, Britney Spears' 2 sons were at their father, Federline's house, and he said that the grandfather came and kicked down a door, never touched the child, but kicked down a door. Now the courts and police are saying there's not enough evidence to say whether that happened or not.
I guess the door wasn't off the hinges. Wouldn't that be evidence?
Well, you would think. I mean, it's a house door, so if you kick it in, there's going to be some kind of damage, no? So
I would have taken a picture and said, look what he did.
Yeah. So
Kevin wasn't thinking.
Kevin, no, with his 1,800 kids, maybe.
Does he have a lot of kids from different people?
Yeah, he has his 2 sons with Britney, and then I think he has 2 or 3 with another woman.
How do you keep up with all this news?
Well, I'm just such a pop addict.
Okay, Sam Smith. If you don't know who Sam Smith is, he's a wonderful vocalist, British, and he's non-binary. Okay, so some people don't understand what cisgender, cis is Latin for on the same side. So if you're cisgendered, you are somebody who's on the same side as the gender that you were born with. So I'm a cis male. No, and you're a cis female. You identify with what you were born, the sex you were born with.
I say I'm a female.
You're a cis female. I'm a cis male. We are on the same side as the gender we were at birth.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Our assigned gender, whatever.
Right.
People who are non-binary, they don't feel that they fit on that same path as you and I.
So they could be male physically.
You and me.
And not feel like a male.
Right. So they don't, and so that's why they use different pronouns.
Right.
Right. So they don't identify him and her.
Right.
Because they don't feel like they are just a him or just a her. So a common term now, and it's been accepted by the Merriam-Webster dictionary, is they, them. Multiple pronouns, because you are more than one. You're not just one gender. You are sometimes it's gender fluid, non-binary. Anyway,
I think there's a lot of terms.
So Sam Smith has asked that they be addressed as they, them, their. So you would say, Sam Smith's music is so great, I really like how they sing.
Right.
That's how you would say it. Their music is great. Sam Smith's music, I like their music.
Right.
It's not that hard to do when you start. You just have to actually think about it.
Because I always think it's plural when you use
but
them
now
there.
It's no longer, and the world is changing. And some people in this world are really struggling with that to the point where they are angry. And I don't get where the anger comes from. What is the big deal? What is the big deal about giving somebody what they
ask for?
How has it hurt you? Where's the threat to society if someone says, I am neither male nor female, I don't identify as that, so please call me them or they? Just start to wrap your brain around it. Keith and I were practicing last night because
it's hard.
It's not hard.
It's hard because you're used to.
It just requires a mind shift.
Right. Yeah.
And if you practice it,
but that's hard for some people. Is what I'm saying.
It is. Yeah. It is, but not to the point where you should disparage that person
or be afraid. You don't have to be afraid because you might have to change a word.
So try it.
It's a word.
You know what? Try having a conversation. Pretend you know somebody now. If you don't already know somebody who is transgender or non-binary, and practice how you would use those pronouns in the conversation. It's very interesting to see how it works.
I'm going to practice.
All right. And after that, what's going to go on? Oh my goodness! Remember Kaylin Porter from Canadian Idol?
Yes.
He has a sister, MacKenzie Porter. She was on the show Travelers.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
She's coming to the zoo. Oh my gosh! Tomorrow night. Ooh. She's going to work with those two guys that are at the GFL Gardens, the Friends Don't Let Friends Tour Alone tour. I interviewed her from Nashville. She's up next. Check it out on Mornings with Lou Ann and Tim. Be right back.
When you support the Restore, it helps Habitat for Humanity build affordable housing for families. How does this work? New and gently used goods are donated to the Restore. The sale of these goods generate funds for building homes. For every $1 spent at the Restore, there is a $4 return on investment within our community. For example, Habitat homeowners have better educational outlook, increased employment stability, improved health, and reduction in the use of social services. Every donation and every dollar we receive through the Restore helps build sustainable housing for future homeowners. Everyone needs a foundation to build a future. To find out more and how you can help, drop by the Restore at 32 White Oak Drive or go to habitatzoo.ca.
As a nation, Canada has participated in all of the major world conflicts. In the Sioux area alone, over 10,000 men and women have enlisted in the Canadian Armed Forces. The Veterans Commemorative Monument aims to cement the legacy of the Canadian Armed Forces in stone. It will highlight the bravery, strength, courage, and sacrifice of our servicemen and women. In times of need, they volunteered to serve us. Now it is our time to thank and recognize their sacrifice. You can help honor our men and women of service by donating today. To help construct this special, one-of-a-kind monument, Visit thosewhoserve.ca to find out how to donate and more.
Since 1899, the Machine Shop has been a unique space for innovation and creativity. Once a leading pulp and paper company, the Machine Shop was built by Francis H. Clerg, which later became part of St. Mary's Paper in 1984. After the closure of St. Mary's Paper in 2011, the Machine Shop spent 4 years vacant. In 2015, the Machine Shop reopened their doors to the community for the first time. From weddings to galas to concerts and festivals, the one-of-a-kind venue has something for everyone. We are proud to work with the community and local nonprofits to host major events such as Festival of Trees, Pearls and Plaid, an evening at Hogwarts, and more. While you're here, wind down at the Mill Steakhouse and Wine Bar for a quiet dining experience, or watch a game and try a wood fire oven pizza and local draft at the Boiler Room. Don't forget to save room for house-made gelato and baked goods at the Gelato Mill. For more information on the Machine Shop events, history, and restaurants, visit machineshopinc.ca. 3 great places, 1 historic venue.
This song ain't a summertime song meant to make you sing along, that you make your ringtone. No, it ain't about the good stuff. It damn sure ain't a raise it up if you got one. It ain't about the best weekend, turn it up to 10, a party with your friends, you know the feel good.
Welcome back to Mornings with Luann and Tim, and joining me right now all the way from Nashville, this is pretty exciting, it's MacKenzie Porter. MacKenzie, good morning, how are you?
Hey, good morning, I'm so good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you so much for joining us today. You're coming to Sault Ste. Marie.
I'm coming next week, I think.
Yeah, so you and I are talking on Friday. You're gonna be here next Wednesday, so we're gonna air this interview on the day of your arrival in Sault Ste. Marie, September the 18th. You are performing with Dean Brody and Dallas Smith. Friends Don't Let Friends Tour Alone. Is that what that thing is called?
Yeah. The longest tour name in history. Friends Don't Let Friends Tour Alone Tour.
Exactly. You're at the GFL Memorial Gardens tonight, the 18th. The people are watching it, it'll be tonight. But you and I are chatting on a Friday. So you're all the way down in Nashville. And for those people who may not recognize the name, the last name Porter, you come by your musical career quite honestly. Your brother Kalen, Canadian Idol winner from 2004, he's arriving in Nashville today to visit you, isn't he?
He is. He's somewhere in the sky flying right now. We're doing like a big family thing this weekend, and so I made him come hang with us.
Family thing, because your family's very musical. You tell me a little bit about growing up on the cattle and bison ranch near Medicine Hat, Alberta. That's crazy.
So crazy. So my parents are like super country. I grew up horse riding, and my dad for a living does livestock, so cattle and bison, and yeah, we just I grew up on a 5th generation cattle ranch.
And there was always music around. You said your father and your mother were always playing the radio or playing songs, whatever, a lot of country going on, right?
Yeah, my grandma is like a wicked piano player. It was just every time we get together, my mom is usually the one being like, we should have a family jam session. So music is like the bread and butter in my family. So much fun. And then, so you yourself started taking lessons young. You were 4 years old? 4 years old, yeah. Piano, violin? I think because Kaylin and my sister Kelsey were taking lessons, and Kaylin's 4 years older than me. I think because he was studying it, I wanted to, so I just started super young, and luckily it kind of worked out, so. Right on. So obviously Kalen has had his success. You got 2 careers on the go. You started off, you always enjoyed music, as you said, and you did perform. You had cousins and stuff in a band. Is that true? Yeah, so on the ranch where I grew up, it was my family and then my grandparents and my cousins and their parents. And there's 5 kids all in the same age range, so we had like a little family band, and we would do a lot of shows. What did the family band have a name? It did, but it's like not a good name. So it's like so embarrassing. I don't know why we came up with this name, but I won't make you say it. Okay, so then at some point in your life, you decide maybe acting, right? Yeah, so I knew I always wanted to act as well, and when I was 13, I started taking classes with a lady in my hometown who did film and TV classes. Okay. And I just studied with her for a couple of years, and then she knew an agent out in Vancouver, and he just happened to be like the best agent in Vancouver, and he's my Canadian rep still. This is 17 years later. 17 years later, you're still together, you and that agent. Yeah, he is like another father to me. But there you were, this young little, 18 years old, you made the move to Vancouver? Yeah, I think I was even 17.
17, wow.
Right after I graduated high school.
So then, that's when I was asking you about the songwriting, because you write, your stuff is original compositions, which is fabulous, and I love, what are the two big singles that are out right now?
So, About You is the first one that just went #1, and then These Days I think is just hitting top 20 right now and climbing really fast. So,
so exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. And I mean, I had taken a break. So I was filming at my TV show Travelers for the last 3 years, and the schedule was just incredibly intense. So I didn't get to release music as fast as I wanted to. So I was kind of nervous how people were going to react, with new music from me in 3 years, and it's been like more than I could have imagined.
Fantastic. So does the songwriting though for you really began sort of when you were in between gigs in Vancouver when you were still younger, and then you realized, hey, I can write too, yeah?
Yeah, I think so. I had a point where I just couldn't. I think I was like in a self-conscious stage in my life, and I just could not book an acting part for about a year. And I knew I wanted to still be creative, but in acting, you kind of have to wait for somebody to hire you. So with music, I was like, I can do this in my bedroom and create music and content and art, and nobody's going to tell me when I can't do that. So that's when I started writing at 18.
That's a great mentality. That's a true artist too. Nothing can hold you back. Hey, but you did also something that I think is very cool. You got a certification in music engineering?
Yes, so I went to a school in Vancouver. It's called Nimbus.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Have you heard of that?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, so it's Garth Richardson is the main guy there, and I took a 6-month course in it, and we would do I remember we'd have sessions where we get to go in and record, and mine always happened to be 3 a.m. till 9 a.m. And so it was like a rock and roll school, and I was definitely one of the only girls.
Wow. But that kind of knowledge is great for you, not only as an artist, but you can talk to producers at a level where you can really communicate well when you're talking about how you want a song to feel or sound. And then I was saying to you, I wouldn't be surprised with your kind of initiative that you might be a producer yourself one day, right?
I would love to produce one day. I mean, I do feel like I have a pretty good ear for it too, and good ideas musically, so I would love to do that one day.
Now, when you're performing, you have a violin. Do you actually play the fiddle?
I do. I have 4 fiddles. So I have an electric one, and then my favorite one is this sequin sparkly fiddle.
Oh
That's one I usually tour with. And my parents actually helped make that. I came home for a big hometown show, and they had this fiddle sitting under a light, and I walked in the house and they made it. But it sounds awesome.
I love that you're so connected with your family. That is such a great part of the story, and that they're coming down now to visit you and everything. But was it difficult then leaving Vancouver and making the move to Nashville?
It was definitely difficult, with making friends and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always been eye on the prize with my career, so I knew I was going to come here. And I actually lived in LA before I moved to Nashville.
Wow.
But it's always been I'll go where I need to go to, become the artist I want to become.
Exactly. We also have somebody in common. So Travelers, for those people who don't know, it's 3 seasons you did. Completely Canadian, which I think is brilliant. You had a Vancouver crew, you had actors from everywhere, Alberta, Manitoba, Ontario. You were a co-star along with Eric McCormack.
Yes.
And I always brag on the show about how the fact that I went to school with Eric McCormack when in 1982. And of course we all know Eric as in between Travelers. In between Will and Grace, Eric was a traveler. Great sci-fi show though. You were FBI agents who could travel to the past and try to fix things that had gone wrong in the world. Is that the scoop there on Travelers?
That's the scoop, yeah. So hundreds of years from now, people are trying to come back in time and correct all the mistakes that humanity's made.
That's still
my
streaming, right?
Specifically, a doctor in the future who comes back, and they come back in teams. So they have kind of a doctor, tactician, engineer. They have a full team, a leader, and they come back and try to correct history.
Is that still streaming?
Oh yeah, it's on Netflix. You can
I thought so. You guys had a fierce following too. I follow Eric on Twitter, and there's people who were like, Travelers has to keep going on, and huge fan base, right?
I know, we really do, and they've been so loyal, and we're so bummed when the show got canceled. I mean, I was too.
Yeah. Did you ever sing with Eric?
We would do drunk karaoke nights a lot. So, but that was the extent. So it wasn't good. It was after a few too many bottles of wine.
Okay, so now tell me about you said where you're on the charts right now. That's got to be thrilling for you. The 2 songs. Oh, the video for the one. Your fiance. What's his name?
His name is Jake Etheridge.
Okay, and Jake is an actor and musician and he lives in Nashville. You said he has a studio down there.
Yeah, he's got a studio right on Music Row.
Very cool. So I remember so I'm watching the video, and that's the song that's on the top of the charts right now, correct?
That song actually already went number 1.
It went number 1, and it's called?
That Was Not About You. And my new single is called These Days.
So the first one, I was watching the video, and I'm thinking, okay, first of all, your fiance is extremely good looking. And so then, in the video, it's almost like a movie, and then I found out after watching the video that he was your fiance. I was like, I don't think he's good enough for her because he's got a drinking problem. But it's not true. It's just acting. But,
I mean, some nights he might drink too much, and we all do. But
how cool though that you got to co-star with your fiance, and you had a friend who took care of the filming of it. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's through my label, but he's a really good friend of ours too.
Right on. Well, congratulations on the success of the songs. You have a website. That's where I found out all about you, and I enjoyed. I think you've got about maybe 10 tracks up there or something like that. There's a different number of songs.
I think there's maybe something like that.
Yeah. So give me the website address if you don't mind.
I think it's just MacKenzie.
I think it's just MacKenziePorter.com. Yeah, I think so too. Or you can just Google MacKenzie Porter, and you can, if you haven't already heard her on the top of the charts, you can check it out, and then you're going to want to go and see her live at the GFL Memorial Gardens with Dean Brody and Dallas Smith. And you're watching this, people, it's tonight. And so you can still probably get tickets. Head down to the GFL Memorial Gardens, grab your tickets, go online, get your tickets, do what you have to do, and check out MacKenzie Porter. Multiple Juno nominee, and 3 times in a row you were nominated for Canadian Country Music Association Female Artist of the Year.
Yeah, that was all on my last record. So we'll see next year when I get hopefully something for this record.
MacKenzie, you know what? I think there's nothing in the future for you but more success and great success. Great success. Look at how far you've come in the short amount of time you've done. So,
thank you.
Have fun in Sault Ste. Marie, your first time here.
Yes, I'm so excited.
I'm sure you'll enjoy Sault Ste. Marie audiences. So I want to thank you again for joining us from Nashville. This has been MacKenzie Porter. MacKenzie, safe travels. We'll see you in Sault Ste. Marie.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Okay, GFL Memorial Gardens tonight, September the 18th, MacKenzie Porter with Dean Brody and Dallas Smith. Friends Don't Let Friends Tour Alone tour. We'll be back with Mornings with Luann and Tim right after this.
Hey Mel, did you know in Queensgate, Australia, it's illegal to own a pet rabbit unless you can prove you're a magician?
Really? Did you know that if you're at the McMeekin Arena, you're only 9 minutes and 54 seconds away from Maitland Ford Lincoln?
It's closer than you think.
Just quickly, I misspoke. I said if you don't know a transgender person practice pronouns, but I meant non-binary person, because generally transgender people will have decided which they address feel me as he, she, whatever. Right. So non-binary. See, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve.
And broad minds really come in handy. And thank you so much, KC Security, for sponsoring the show. Stick around. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be like Bump Slide Thursday.
Right into Friday.
And we'll see you then.
On Mornings with Luann and Tim.
you.